As you may know, I love my Porsches, and over the past 10 years or so, I've been very lucky to own quite a few Porsche models and drive a lot of other Porsche models. But I've never actually owned a Macan, although I have driven quite a few, including a Porsche Macan Turbo. So this is my new Porsche Macan. It's a 2015 model, it's a 3-litre turbo diesel, but it has given me quite a big problem, quite a big headache in fact. Allow me to explain what that problem is in this video. My name is Sach, and this is the Porsche Network. So yeah, back in December I turned 40 years old. 40 years old, man. That's like 14,500 days, 2,080 weeks, and it's about 350,000 hours, which when you put it like that doesn't actually seem like a great deal of time, but Christ man, I'm getting old. And it was quite a low-key event, to be honest with you. Yes, there was cake, there was tea. We're English, we always have tea. In fact, there was an absolutely fantastic Porsche cake, which you might like the look of. But that aside, onto this Porsche Macan, which I did get for my 40th birthday. Macan has always held a bit of a soft spot in my heart. I've always liked them, but I think they've always just been a little bit high in my budget, depending on how much I was willing to spend at any given point. But I finally got one. I finally got one in the colour that I want. I always liked the white ones. I mean, I don't want to sound offensive to anybody who's got a Macan of a different colour, but I think the only reason that I like these Macans is when they come in white. I think the white just looks phenomenal on these cars. Like I say, I don't want to offend anyone who's got a different colour because everybody likes different things. I certainly didn't want to get a black one because I previously had a Cayenne, and the dirt, it was just constantly dirty. Even when it was clean, you could see the specks of dirt on it. And I just didn't really want to go down that route, so I'm pleased I kind of went with the white Macan. So I think what we'll do is take a quick walk around of the car, have a look at the car. We'll take it out for a drive, and I'll tell you about that problem that I've got, that headache. This car really is going to cause me a bit of a problem, and it might mean that I have to end up buying another car because of this car. So it's got these 21-inch Turbo 3 alloys, which I do think are probably one of the top 2 wheels for this car. There's a set of RS Spider wheels as well, and they also look good, but honestly there's a guy who lives like 200 yards from my house, and he has the exact same car, RS Spider wheels. So I thought, you know, get one with these wheels on, then at least there's going to be a little bit of difference between the two cars. But I think they're great. They're going to be really difficult to keep clean. The front bumpers on these cars, I think they're really aggressive. They make the contrast between the white and the black. And also, not all of the Macans have this, but this is kind of like a front lower splitter. Generally, when you see them on these cars, they're in black. And this one's been painted white by the previous owner, which I think is a really nice touch actually. These are daytime running lights. It's got the PD SL or LS, I think it's called, spotlights, and yeah, it's a very aggressive looking front end, I believe. Now as we're walking alongside the car, it's got the black window trim, which I really like. One thing I hate about Porsches is when they have the chrome trim around the windows. I know some people do like it, but it's just always been one of those things that I just thought, I can't understand why people like it, but each to their own, and it's absolutely fine. But yeah, so I'm pleased. This has got like the gloss trim around it. Also has the matching black roof rails on the top, so I'll be looking to get my Fuel Vector roof box on this. Some of you have seen it on my 911 previously. And also it has like a carbon effect side strip, which I think breaks up the colour of the car. It would probably look just a bit too white. So this really breaks up the colour, and I do like something like this. Like on my 911 here, I've got the Porsche stripe, which breaks up the yellow. So, and on a few of my other cars, I've done the exact same thing. It just breaks up the colour. And then as we come on the back, it's got this gloss black rear spoiler with the integrated brake light. And these rear lights, to me, they do look a little bit tinted. I'm not sure whether this is standard. I guess it probably is, but I like the way that these are sort of quite dark. One thing I don't like is the chrome Porsche Macan S lettering on here. I will be probably looking to get these either taken off and exactly the same put back on, just in black. It's like a mini Cayenne, but sorry Cayenne owners, a little bit classier. That's what I think. Again, I don't really want to offend anybody, but I think this is much better looking than the Cayenne. Driving the Macan can actually be a bit of a dream. It's very comfortable, and if you get one with the right options, it can be two cars in one. You know, if you get one with the Sport Chrono package and the Porsche Dynamic Stability Control, as it's known, or Chassis Sport Control, the Chassis Sport Plus options, then it really firms up the suspension and allows you to really sort of cane this car into the corners and almost feel like you're in some sort of like heightened 911, which sounds a bit strange, but it really does work. And then when you're finished being a tow rag, you can just pop it back into comfort mode and take your granny to church. As I mentioned earlier, it's got the 3-litre turbo diesel V6 engine, which is good for about 250 brake horsepower, which is more than adequate for driving around the streets, going to work and back. In fact, I drove to London and back last week. And one thing I was impressed with was the fact that these seats just do an excellent job of keeping you comfortable at all times. It's got these lovely 18-way seats, which, as I say, always make sure that you can find a position to make it comfortable for you, even for an aging old 40-year-old like myself. A few Macan related facts for you over in Fact Corner. I've got my trusty bit of paper here so I get everything correct. The Macan name derives from the Indonesian name for tiger. Production started in 2014. It's now Porsche's biggest seller. It sells more yearly units than the Cayenne does. Yeah, sure, the Cayenne has sold more units overall because it's been on the market a lot longer, but this is now selling more than the Cayenne, which says something. There's 4 models. There's a Macan S, a GTS and a Turbo. I've been lucky enough to drive the Macan Turbo. What a machine. And it's built on the Audi Q5 platform. It's got the PDK box, the 7-speed PDK box, which is flawless. You don't even notice the gear changes in this thing. It's just so sleek and so smooth, and it just wafts along like it's on air suspension without even knowing, even though it doesn't have air suspension. But it feels like it. It's so good. And it's actually got quite high miles. It's got 83,000 miles coming on the clock now. And you wouldn't think it. It's got full Porsche service history, well, apart from the last one, which was an independent. But before that, full Porsche service history. And it's got plenty life left in this. It's as good as new. If they are serviced well and regularly, then they'll look after you. And this one feels, honestly, like a brand new car. The interior is exactly as you'd expect. It's stealth-like, it's spaceship-like. And one thing I do love about it is the fact that it does have so many buttons laid out on this kind of sort of horizontal dash area here. Now, the reason I love this so much is because it's very easy for modern cars, including the new 992, 911, to just put a whole range of options on the digital screen. So, you know, you may have to like press 2 or 3 buttons to get into like something like a sports exhaust or chassis control, whereas this, just one button and you're exactly where you need to be. And I like that. It's kind of old school. I am old school. I do like a physical button that I can press as opposed to trying to find the option on a digital screen. What about modifications to the car? Will I be doing any modifications? If you follow the channel, you'll know that I do love modifying my Porsches. But I can't see it happening in this car. It already looks good. It already looks exactly how I would like a Macan to look. And with that in mind, I think it's classy. I think it doesn't need to be tampered with. Any modifications that I put on the car would just sort of maybe cheapen it to an extent. So I'm very mindful of that, and I do want to just keep it as it is. So honestly, I can't see any mods going on. If I do anything, I might put like a performance chip in, which also has a little bit of fuel saving capability, like the race chip kit that I put on my Cayenne. So that's probably about it. But other than that, styling mods, the way the car looks on the outside, I think I'll just keep it exactly as it looks right now. So what's the problem with the car then? Why at the start of the video did I say that it was going to give me a headache and a bit of a problem? The answer is all really because of my dog, believe it or not. Bit of background information: before I had this car, I was driving a BMW 3 Series estate car, which the dog was very able to jump in and out of without any issues. The back seats would get so dirty, but it didn't bother me at all because it was a daily runner, and it was a workhorse basically. Now this is kind of a different kettle of fish. The dog can't even jump into the back of this car. I've tried many occasions and he just can't seem to get in. He can't get in the boot either. So obviously if I was to put him in the back, which I have done to be fair, I would need to make sure the back seats were completely covered with towels and actually physically pick him up and put him in, which, you know, and I get that it's not the end of the world, but an ideal situation is that I can just open the door and the dog could just get in and the car can be as dirty as it needs to be. So I'm thinking maybe to get a cheap runaround running alongside this car as well. And it's something that the dog can just get in and out of at will. It doesn't necessarily need to be cleaned every 30 seconds. And I do like to kind of go off the beaten track and find new lands, explore new places with the dog. So maybe I won't get the opportunity to do that with this car, but I'm happy to look for another little runaround. In fact, one car that I have found, I've been looking and I really like the look of, but practical wise I don't know. I need to go and drive a few and see how I feel about them. Is the new Suzuki Jimneys. They look like really little sort of compact SUVs, and I'm fairly sure the dog could jump in and out of that no problem. But it's something for me to consider further along the line. But for now though, I'm very happy with this Macan. It'll slot in nicely next to my 911, as you can see, but it looks really nice parked next to my Cayman 981 actually. And I've got mods coming on that car as well very soon. Haven't really had the chance to do that. I've got winter tires, as you probably saw, sitting right there. They're going to go on the Cayenne. They're going to go on the Cayman, but it hasn't even been snowing yet, so it's just an option for me. So just a bit of fun for winter. Try and see how it performs in the snow. But that's it for now on this Porsche Macan. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's a nice looking car. I really love it, and yeah, I'm very excited to be doing lots more videos on this on the channel very soon. So if you're not already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. Really helps the channel out and helps the channel grow. That is what I'm trying to do with it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.